time earlier this year that I was notified that my lights were on outside the student parking lot. After exiting the building and turning the lights off, a process totaling approximately 30 seconds, give or take, I was approached by an administrator and assigned 2 detentions because I left the building without administrative permission. Thank you, Cody. You might ask, maybe a harsh punishment. Well, I agree. As a senior, honor student, an active member in school and community, backup kicker, I believe I deserve more. However, I'm not special. I, along with many other responsible students here, share the same issue. And having open campus in high school successfully address this issue, while having numerous advantages, however, should come with certain restrictions to maximize safety. An open campus is financially advantageous for numerous reasons. For one, overcrowding in schools is an everlasting and growing problem in the U.S. An open campus policy aids in this issue. An open campus policy allows for the freeing up of classroom space so the schools don't have to spend money on new construction. Marblehead principal Wayne Millington stated that when a classroom is not being used for an academic class, it is being used for study halls. With open campus, there will be fewer students in study halls, allowing us to consolidate the space they have left behind. Freeing up of space allows for more creative schedule, possibly activity periods in the middle of the day. Another financial advantage is the support of local businesses. Students who travel off campus and give the local businesses necessary income to keep them afloat. Denfield High School principal Tanya Sconers reported that closing an open campus would cost the school over $240,000 in the school lunches and staff. That being said, only schools with a plethora of local food and preferably healthier businesses should be eligible for an open campus. That leads me into the next subject that's commonly the reason as to why schools do not utilize the open campus, and that is safety. All schools fear the worst, a teenager dying in an accident as a result of leaving campus. However, doesn't this hazard arrive every time a teen gets into a car? How about rushing to school in the morning when the traffic's even worse than lunch? Maybe parental consent would be required. Nevertheless, there are solutions to this potential issue to ensure the safety of the students. One would be age requirements. Just seniors allowed. The buddy system also works great as well. Perhaps lengthier lunch periods to grant students the proper timing at lunch. This could mean longer and fewer lunch periods in order to guarantee an adequate amount of time. In fact, most schools that have an open campus policy say that there's enough time allotted for students to travel safely back and forth from school because there are fewer and longer lunch periods. Another solution could be a merit system in which students must have a certain grade point average to earn the right to go off campus. North Shore High School principal Brian Gayer suggests open campus should be a privilege earned on a maturity index. This would eradicate most students who abuse the system. And according to Superintendent Alice Boyer, she estimates 95% of the students using the privilege use it appropriately. NYU Professor of Education Jonathan Zimmerman explains, 18-year-olds can vote, they can die in war in the Middle East, but now school systems are saying that they don't have the wisdom or maturity to go out for lunch. The last crucial advantage, possibly the most important, is the student's advantage. There are endless reasons as to why students and staff enjoy an open campus policy. For one, administrations that use the open campus policy argue that it teaches the students valuable lessons of responsibility and maturity. Principal Millington again says that he said there's a contingent of people that think open campus is a good idea because it would help students develop management skills and which they will need after high school. Belmont High School Superintendent George N. Whistle said that seniors are able to take advantage of an open campus model, let them come and go as they please, so they have time in between classes and learn responsibility. After all, isn't the point of high school to prepare the students for college and beyond? Where they are forced to live on their own, the grade point average minimum would also encourage students to achieve better grades. Although some in the Long Island school system argue that open campuses could lead to some disadvantages such as more student separation from school activities, the advantages of personal freedom, increased physical activity, and less responsibility heavily outweigh these. That being said, most high school students would enjoy the personal freedom, good food, and more time to do the homework. For Jennifer White, a senior at North Shore High School in Glen Head, an open campus has meant the freedom to leave school at lunch as well as during other free periods to work on independent research projects. High school is a time of life lessons, maturity, and an open campus provides the students with that experience while also enhancing the school staff and local businesses.